Hey, can we talk about something? So as many of you know, I'm a big Broadway fan. Many of you also know I'm hard of hearing. I wear hearing aids in both my ears. It's been something that I've dealt with since my 20s. It's harder to get through life. Not always easy being a journalist, but I've figured it out. Loving Broadway as someone who's hard of hearing is difficult though. And there are solutions. And I think that it's time to talk about this. This is a no-brainer. Let's talk about the current situation on Broadway. Yesterday, I went to see 1776, and I gave them my driver's license, and I got the infrared headsets. They're basically picking up sound from microphones that sound like they're on the edge of the stage. I wish they were coming out of the actual sound of the performers' microphones that they're all wearing, but it's not. It's very echoey. Sort of helpful, depends on the show. Wasn't so helpful yesterday, totally honest answer. I wound up at intermission, returning it and going back to wearing my hearing aids, which were actually better. Then there's an app which has captioning, but it requires you to look at your phone. I mean, picture it. So either you're going to look down on your phone and then watch the show, or you're going to like hold it up. And what's happening, and there was a video I saw today, is that some performers are actually yelling at audience members who are trying to use this app, thinking they're recording the show. What about your phone battery? My phone, this phone that I'm recording this on, this battery, I'm lucky if it gets me through a day in New York City. And then, of course, there are signed performances, if you can understand sign language, for deaf audiences. But there are so many solutions out there in the world. When I go to the movies, there are these boxes I can get that like sit in the drink holder, and I can sort of position it under the screen and be reading as I go along, and no one else has to see it because, you know, it keeps the light just to me. There's also these glasses you could wear, really fashionable, where you see, literally, you just see the script going across on the glass. I actually wore those when I saw Hadestown at the National Theater before it came to Broadway. I don't think they still have that at the National. I actually looked it up, and it seems like what they're doing at the National now is certain performances, they're showing, I guess they're called, what are they called? Surtitles? With, like they have in the opera, where you actually see the script like on the set, kind of. So they're doing that for certain performances. Not ideal, because it's certain performances. I don't know why the glasses won't work at every performance. I don't know why, like the operas around the world have been doing since the 90s, because they're in other languages, why I can't be reading it on the seat in front of me. And there has to be a way to make that technology so it's not distracting other people, or you could have certain sections of the theater have these seats. What about all of the international audiences coming to Broadway who don't understand a word of these shows? Why did Cats run for so long? Because they didn't have to understand it. A bunch of cats sang and danced, and one of them went up on a tire. It was very entertaining for them. And the technology for live chat, like, you know, on FaceTime now, they have live captioning, which is amazing. This is scripted performance. You just have to load the script into an app. And by the way, 13 shows are available for captioning. And based on my calculation, there are 27 shows running on Broadway this weekend. 13 are available, and the newest one with captioning is A Strange Loop, which opened 6 months ago. But here's the deal. Not only does Broadway appeal to older audiences, as you know, I'm on the younger side of issues, people with hearing issues, but think of all the people older than me, the people I get in line with when I'm getting the infrared headsets. Captions are also really helpful for accents. I went to see a play recently that had a lot of accents. When you have hearing issues, you have to concentrate. I have to concentrate so much. When I'm in a noisy restaurant, even sitting with a friend, trying to block out all the noise around me, I have to concentrate so much. And watching a show, it's the same thing. Accents are really hard. Mumbling is really hard, obviously. Lin-Manuel Miranda raps are hard to understand. I'm telling you, when I finally saw Hamilton on Disney Plus with the captions on, very different. The best time I saw Hamilton was on Disney Plus. When I have the full experience of watching like a TV show with captioning, or watching Hamilton on Disney Plus with captioning, I realize what I am missing when I see the theater, because you kind of don't minute to minute realize what you're missing. But I do find myself, when I see plays, sometimes I'll read the script after, especially if I'm, as a reporter, interviewing someone, or the lyrics to songs and listen to the music after. I can't get everything in those 2.5, 3 hours in the theater. I just don't. I did some research because it seems like everybody's using TV captions. I used to be embarrassed to have them on at my house when people visited. Now I have a lot of people say to me like, oh, I watch with captions too. So I decided to do a little research, and this website, preply.com, did a survey about captions and found out 89% of people have used closed captions. 50% use them most of the time. 50% of people use them. And here's a really interesting thing. Generationally, younger people are using them even more. Every generation, the number goes up. Percentage of people, because honestly, the shame is gone. People are talking about their issues. I used to be ashamed of these issues, and now I'm making this video. And the reason why younger generations love captions is because they say that it helps them understand the plot more. 68% say it keeps them more engaged. Don't we want our theater audiences more engaged? I want to be more engaged. I have a real passion to open accessibility up to audiences. I know there is such an untapped audience. Think of how many people might just not be going to the theater because they cannot engage and it's not cheap and they want to have the full experience. So I would love to help however I can, but right now I just kind of want to put this out there and really hope that we can sort of find new paths, new audiences, and just more Broadway for everyone. All right. Thanks for listening.